Too late to leave is the message to thousands of residents up and down the entire south coast.
Crews across the Gippsland region bracing for horrific conditions.
Thousands of stranded tourists have been evacuated from the bushfire-ravaged town of Malakuta.
We've had some pictures coming in from firefighters on the ground and they are terrifying.
17 million hectares burnt, more than 3,000 homes reduced to rubble, 1 billion native animals completely and 33 lives tragically lost, 9 of them brave firefighters.
For baby Charlotte, you need to know that your dad was a selfless man. He was a special man. And he only left us because he was a hero.
But a far greater battle was brewing on the horizon.
He's the first person to die in Australia from coronavirus.
Victorians will face our toughest restrictions on daily life yet.
Queensland is being cut off from the rest of the country.
1 million Australians have lost their jobs in just 2 days.
There is a cruise ship off Sydney Heads quite a while away called the Ruby Princess, and there are confirmed cases of coronavirus on board.
We moved 10 days ahead of the WHO last time, and we were right.
$66 billion to cushion the blow to households.
Economic turmoil and mass job losses as the world grappled to come to terms with this invisible enemy. While the virus tore its way through every continent, other major events were unfolding around the globe.
An historic moment in UK politics and a triumph for democracy. 3.5 years after the people of the UK voted to leave the European Union tonight, that vote is being honoured.
After all the talk, rumours and speculation, it is now official. A date for which Harry and Meghan will say goodbye to royal life.
This verdict should serve as an example so that all survivors will be heard and believed.
That is Cardinal George Pell, who has just been released from Barwon Prison. He has been acquitted.
It was a scene of unimaginable, inexplicable horror and grief.
Hannah Clark, Aaliyah, Leanna and Trey, 4 lives taken so tragically, so brutally.
As Australians mourned the loss of an innocent mother and her children, fury was erupting in the United States over a different kind of injustice.
I can breathe.
What's his name? George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd!
Americans took to the streets in solidarity, seeking answers over George Floyd's death. But the peaceful demonstrations were quickly overshadowed by violence and anarchy.
Down, down, down.
They're taking the stabbing victim away, obviously to try to get him to hospital.
We have shots fired. We have shots fired.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
I am your president of law and order.
The revolution spread like wildfire around the world.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
And we've been trying to walk away from the danger here, but it's been following us.
Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse in 2020, they did.
Residents and businesses are tonight scrambling to get ready before 36 suburbs in Melbourne's north and northwest go into
There's
lockdown.
310,000 residents wake up in these hotspot suburbs this morning. Police will already be patrolling their neighbourhoods.
For the people in particular of Melbourne, this is hard. This is a hard call on you.
People will die. It is as simple as that.
A security guard has broken ranks, speaking to the Today Show, blowing the whistle on the lack of training that guards received at his hotel.
New South Wales and Victoria will be shutting down their borders.
I'm really scared. It's a real, I'm not overreacting. I'm jumping on a bandwagon. It's a real concern.
Individual providers of aged care, obviously they have to be accountable for what they have or haven't done.
723 new cases, 13 deaths, 10 of those aged care residents.
Melbourne is this morning in stage 4 restrictions and a harsh new curfew between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. each night for at least the next 6 weeks.
My employees have been stood down, our businesses have been shut down,
Our lives have been turned upside down.
After 28 straight years of uninterrupted economic growth, Australia has officially entered into recession.
It's faster and deeper than what we saw in the 80s and 90s.
The Premier is making these reasons not based on health advice, but based on the fact that we've got an election coming up.
Anastasia Palaszczuk is not mean.
When community transmission numbers are so low, why is the border closed? I just do not understand.
I'm human just like everyone else. These issues hurt me deeply because during this pandemic I've lost loved ones as well. So I know exactly what people are going through. Okay, thanks.
France is now facing up to 50,000 new cases daily.
Doctors and nurses will be forced to choose which patients to treat, who would get oxygen and who wouldn't, who would live and who would die.
7.2 million Americans have tested positive to COVID-19. Tonight, 2 more.
Hang on, Peter.
For the country.
Looks like President of the United States has tested positive for COVID-19.
I want to thank everybody for the tremendous support. I'm going to Walter Reed Hospital. I think I'm doing very well.
The president's shock diagnosis came amid one of the most contentious US elections in history.
We're rounding the corner. We got the vaccines, all that, but even without it, we're rounding the corner.
It's time to stand up and take back this democracy.
Folks, do you have any idea what this clown's doing?
Gentlemen, you realize if you're both speaking at the same time, please let the Vice President talk. I want to move on to another subject.
People united will never be defeated.
We're standing by as we wait for Joe Biden to make his first appearance as US President-elect.
I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States.
It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters.
He is challenging the election result in several states, flagging a potential Supreme Court fight, digging in here at the White House to remain as long as possible.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Back on home soil, Australia was dealt a truly devastating blow.
Elite soldiers accused of murdering 39 Afghans, facing the prospect of jail time and honours being stripped.
There was allegedly a practice of forcing junior soldiers to shoot a prisoner in order to achieve their first kill. It was known as blooding.
Rules were broken, stories concocted, lies told, and prisoners killed.
The contents of that report are disturbing and distressing.
Throughout 2020, some true legends have been lost. Kirk Douglas, Sean Connery, Chadwick Boseman, Jeannie Little, Kenny Rogers, Helen Reddy, Eddie Van Halen, Kobe Bryant, Maradona. Despite all that 2020 has thrown at us, there have been moments of love and pure joy to pull us through.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
On behalf of the worst ever Queensland team, thank you very much.
An early Christmas present to a world desperate for hope. A breakthrough vaccine.
The UK now becoming the first country to approve Pfizer's COVID jab, with the rollout expected in a matter of days.
This is for a good cause, so I'm so pleased I had it done.
Queensland is good to go.
Between us, no.